What is happening, y'all? Welcome on back. Medeya, the cosmic voice. Ooh, she's fast. Oh god. She's super fast.
You shall know.
Looks like she has the same status effect as Laddick did. I have no healing, so we're definitely dying on the 10th one. Yep. No question about it. Now, if I have to fight the ladies again, and that, we might be in some trouble. If it's just cosmic voice, we'll be okay. It's just cosmic voice.
Your life is but in ruin of night.
No.
Is merciful. You shall know before.
Oh god, I gotta start dodging that.
Embrace your destiny, for it is written. Failure is merciless. You shall know before.
Got her! Let's go! Defeat Medeya, reach the true ending, be consumed by the cosmic voice. Triple trophies.
lines between celestial and mortal have collapsed, and with them, the deceptions of the divine. The last faith reaches its end.
And there's the credit roll. Oh man. Well, since I have the game done before embargo, I plan on doing a proper review, but we can do a little impromptu one right now. I'll already say I would put this at a 4 out of 5 up front. Really fun, lots of really good ideas here. I like the executions; those are very flashy, especially since they restore fervor. That's a cool way to, you know, get more of your stuff to use your weapon abilities or your magic, whatever the case may be. I really like how all the weapons have almost a trick weapon or a special to them. It's definitely really cool. It helps to mix things up. I mean, hell, there's charge attacks, and I didn't even realize that until halfway through the game. The weapons themselves were a lot of fun. Like, I mean, God, the scythe, honestly, that was the sleeper weapon for me, because that just came out, and I was like, once I had leveled it, I was like, oh my God, the damage on this. So definitely enjoyed the combat in this. I think out of the various metroidvania games that I've played, I think this is up there. This is one of the better ones in terms of just the general flow of combat. Because it was a lot of fun rolling through my weapon attacks, and then, you know, pulling out the special whenever I could, and occasionally I'd use the bolster thing to increase my attack speed, or go into like hyper mode and attack with that. So there are lots of different things here that I really enjoyed how it all weaved into combat a lot. Things I didn't enjoy so much. So the big elephant in the room, for me at least, was the starting classes. The starting classes were, I mean, honestly, they might as well not exist, because every single class starts with the same crappy dex sword, which is odd to me because there is a starter axe that you get for strength pretty early in the game. Why not just give that to strength builds and then put the sword there if somebody is leveling up strength? But the bigger problem is looking through weapons. I mean, if you were to start the game as the mage build, which I almost did, or as the gun build, well, the guns, I mean, the blacksmith has two, one that's pretty mediocre and one that's pretty cool, but the cool one doesn't come until significantly later, so you're stuck working with a rather crappy little gunblade for a while as one of the only weapons that actually scales with that stat. And with mind, I mean, we have the dark katana that we found, we have the dark greatsword that we found, and as far as I know, I think that's it for primary mind scaling weapons. So, like, 2 weapons that scale with mind, 2 weapons that scale with the gun, or an instinct, or whatever it's called, and none of those are early. So it's like, you know, I would feel, I mean, anybody that picks those classes is like, I'm gonna, you know, start and I'm gonna level up my wisdom, and that's not the case, man. Wisdom and instinct are definitely secondary stats until the end of the game, when you have weapons that you can work off of those. But without those weapons, like, what are those builds supposed to do? Just keep pumping upgrades into a weapon that they're not going to use? And given that we can buy upgrade mats to keep leveling up weapons, bro, the upgrade costs are absolutely fucking obscene. Over 100,000 to get a weapon fully upgraded, which is outrageous. I mean, God, 100,000. 100,000. Now, given I had a pretty good farm there. You know, that one farm I had, that was raking in, I think a non-buffed run was still over 15k, and it didn't take too long, but still, 100k for a weapon, like, that's kind of outrageous, you know? So it didn't really make sense there. Definitely lots of obscurity in the quest lines, and, you know, honestly, I don't think I would have gotten through a lot of these if it wasn't for the fact that I was talking to somebody that basically the PR guy for this company. I've known him for years now, because I was in good contact with him, with the company he worked for before this. So he played through the game, and anytime I was like, you know, where is this last treasure I can't find, I was able to touch base with him, which was nice, because he had, you know, been going through this constantly. But like without his assistance, I mean, like I did pretty good blind, but you know, I would have missed out on, let's see, I would have missed out on Blood Katana, I would have missed out on Dark Katana, which would have sucked. I still missed out on one hidden boss because I didn't find all of my little thingies. The Hydra I might have figured out. I probably would have gone back there and followed the skulls eventually. But there were a lot of little things that were just like all over the place where I'm like, where the hell am I supposed to go for this? And in particular, this is something in Blasphemous too. Like the cherubs in Blasphemous weren't too bad, because when I played it, my game had been out and there were guides, and I was like, fuck it, where are the cherubs? I want to find the cherubs, I want to get the true ending. But the Unborn here, that obviously wasn't the case. You know, I'm playing pre-release, and I still did pretty good. There were 5 left on the map, but especially with them being like potentially behind walls or whatever the case is, you know, and I think part of this is because I just went through this with the cherubs and Blasphemous. I really wish there was a way to help you locate these things towards the end of the game when you're grinding. I think a good example of this would be, you know, the goggles that we get that can see through certain walls and let us go get loot. Make those reveal walls that are breakable, you know, so they have a bigger use. Or with the little babies, make it so that when there's like, you know, a quarter of them remaining, when you get down to 5 or whatever, or 10, you know, the NPC is like, I can, you know, the children are gathering, I can hear the cries, and we get, you know, anytime we enter a zone that has a child nearby, we start seeing the skulls or something, like we did with the skulls that led us to the Hydra. I think there's different kind of intuitive ways we could work mechanics into the game to help guide people towards those secrets, because otherwise, you know, everyone's just gonna they're gonna Google it and they're gonna look up guides. And I mean, I get it, I'm a dude that makes guides, so like, it's good that people look up guides, but at the same time, I feel like, you know, I don't know, stuff shouldn't be so tucked away and hidden that you're just getting frustrated looking for it. And I think that's a greater lesson for Metroidvanias in general than just this game. Some other things that were really weird, the map, you know, the way the map filled out as you went through it, there were a lot of areas that I'd look at it and I'm like, this looks like it goes down. And I would try to go down and I would just die. I'm like, okay, it does not go down, that dies. So I really didn't like that. I think that the way the map fills should have been a lot better. It should be very clear, like, this is gravity, you're going to die down here. There is no wall that you're just going to fall down, you're just going to die. Because I mean, God, we had, it took, I don't know, 5 or 6 of those gravity deaths before I was like, all right, screw it, I'm just never jumping off ledges and looking for secrets again, because every single time I tried to, I die. And I wouldn't be surprised if one of the little babies that I was missing was probably off a ledge somewhere, but I have been conditioned to not jump off ledges at this point. Besides that, I also think the instant kill on spikes and gravity, personally, I'm just not a fan. I mentioned this back in the Blasphemous review. Them removing instant death from those in Blasphemous 2 was huge to me. Because the thing is, in games like this, you're going to explore. And if I could leap off a ledge to see if there's something down there, wiggle around, nope, nothing's down there, I've lost a massive chunk of my health, but that's okay. But when you jump off the edge and you just die, you're like, all right, well, I'm never going to look there again, you know. And so I think that's I guess that's more of a personal preference than a, you know, this is a fault of the game. But hey, it's, you know, it's a review. This is my thought. This is what I feel playing it. Besides that, in terms of enemies, for the most part, I think enemies were fairly well balanced. I think the frost witches were a little bit strong. To be fair, I didn't really have a lot of frost resistance with the stats I was leveling, so that might have been a part of it. But even then, the fact that you could get almost, and it's this motherfucker, Dark Souls 2 sucks. I don't know who that is, but you can suck my balls. Can't believe it. Someone put Dark Souls 2 sucks in as their pledge name. What a prick. Probably mad because he couldn't beat Smelter Demon, I bet. Anyway, but you know, I think I think instant deaths, I never like instant deaths. Doesn't matter what they are, what the game is, unless it's like the Valstrax beam, you know, hyper, very mega targeted attack that's like, get the hell out of the way. You know, like the instant deaths of, yeah, the Safi Jiva bomb. Like, it's coming, get behind the rock, and you have ample time to get behind the rock. And if you don't, well, you die, you fucked up. But like, oops, you got poked and you fell into the spikes, you're dead. Like, I hate that. I hate that, you know? What did that say? It's like 87%. It's like 87% complete. Damn. I guess the bosses are worth even more. And I know there's other spells out there too. But so other things, I mean, yeah, the way that the map fills out in a lot of times was just it threw me off. And I think a big, we were just talking about it, but just to kind of show an example, you know, a big one is like here, like, oh well, hang on, maybe there's a ledge there. No, that's death. That's death. Some other stuff, some quests weren't completely clear when they wrapped up. It's like this one, like she kind of just fell and flopped. And then, yeah, I bought up some stuff. I bought up all of those, bought up all the demi shade ore in the game to help upgrade my katana. But I wasn't sure what that one was all about. And even then, there's still like stuff on my inventory that I wasn't completely clear on the usage of it. But I mean, I still had a lot of fun playing it. I just think there's a lot of little tweaks on the side of the metroidvania sphere. You know, things like the instant deaths, things like the map filling out, that would have helped to propel this even higher to being, you know, one of the best indies of the year. But it was still a solid game. More than likely, I'll probably go through it and do a strength build, just because, you know, some of the strength weapons that we saw were pretty wild. Stuff like the wing axe and the greatsword. I think those would be fun to work with. Though it does seem like a lot of the dex weapons get pretty outrageous. There definitely seems to be a bias with dex. I mean, this thing, BCD, that's insane scaling. And scaling, that's another thing. Scaling is a little weird in this game, you know, because this is CB, but then right here, that's AD. And despite being AD, it's significantly weaker. Now, I get that it's a whip, but like, I would expect the damage to be a little bit higher, or the scythe to not be as high, because the scythe was just like, holy shit, this is, you know, this is outrageous. This completely outclasses it. Why would I use anything else? Katana is pretty good. I think double jump, maybe double jump came into the picture a little too late. I don't know. I'm not completely sold on how late we got double jump, but I don't hate it. I just feel like I could have had it a little bit earlier, like probably the ice region would have been a good point for that. I'm trying to think what else. I mean, this is why I'm going to do a proper review, because I'm just like talking off the top of my head on things that come to mind. The Tunnel Bloodbath. It'd be cool if status effects were explained somewhere instead of having to talk to the PR guy to determine some certain things. Oh, that's another thing. Status effects in this game are super cool, but there are a lot of bosses that are just immune to status. And I get, like, you know, immunity to frost and shock because those mechanics are busted. But, like, I mean, God, and I don't think we ever got shock on anything bigger than, like, a basic scrub. Frost, I suppose, is the same way. Frost was super fun when we could actually apply it and get it off, but most of the time we weren't finding stuff that we could actually apply it to. But either way, this has been a pretty fun time. Definitely with the whip. Some strong Castlevania vibes early on. Very, very true to the Castlevania meets Bloodborne that they were selling this as. So in terms of what is up next on the channel, at the time I'm recording this, I'm not completely sure, because right now it's November 9th, and the series will probably wrap up towards the end of the month. So maybe it'll be Bleak Faith, maybe Space Marine 2 will get announced, maybe there will be something in December I'm looking forward to. I don't know. I gotta schedule all these episodes, but either way, y'all stay tuned and rest assured I'll have another game coming your way soon.